And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Welcome to the Politics, Prepping, and Paranormal Podcast.
Flippity-jibbity nonsense.
I thought it was terrific.
Not just big, it's yeah.
Let's go.
Welcome, and thanks for listening to the Politics, Prepping, and Paranormal Podcast. My name is Jeff Morey, and I am your host. This week, I have a very special Halloween show on tap. I'm excited to welcome Marc Menard and Alyson Jacobson from Paranormal Investigators of New England. Paranormal Investigators of New England is a part of TAPS, which I'm sure anyone who is a paranormal buff knows is the Atlantic Paranormal Society, a la the smash hit TV show Ghost Hunters. Paranormal Investigators of New England was founded in 2004 and conducts investigations of all aspects of the paranormal. They're a free service who seek to help people while working to explore and unlock the mysteries of the paranormal. Marc and Alyson bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise, and also some fascinating stories and videos of some of their investigations for you to check out. So this should be a fun and interesting one. So without further ado, I want to welcome Marc and Alyson to the show. Welcome, guys, and thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Before we talk about your experiences and some of your work, could you tell us a little bit more about Paranormal Investigators of New England?
Sure. Paranormal Investigators of New England, or PINE, was founded in 2004. We are currently located in Vermont. We are the only TAPS family in Vermont. If you're not familiar with TAPS, it's the one that was on Ghost Hunters with Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson.
The Atlantic Paranormal Society, correct?
Yes, sir. And just because we're out of Vermont, but we do cover Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, in some parts of upper New York State. And we also handle cryptid cases, which Bigfoot, stuff like that, and UFOs.
A do-it-all organization. I love it. Could you tell the audience a little bit about what the life of a legit, bona fide paranormal investigator is like, and how do you balance your work and personal lives with investigating the paranormal?
I managed to pretty much balance it by like checking the schedule when we're setting investigations compared to my work schedule, because I thankfully have like a set work schedule, what days I'm working and what days I'll have off.
Marc?
Well, it's kind of hard. I'm married. I have a 5-year-old, 3 cats, 2 dogs. I work full time, so it's not like what you see on TV. It's not like you're going out to these locations and you're automatically going to find a ghost or a spirit. I always compare it to like fishing. Sometimes you get stuff, sometimes you don't. But balancing it, like Alyson said, we do have a calendar, and our directors and assistant directors let us know when stuff when coming up. But unfortunately, a lot of us can't make everything. But for being an investigator, you need to make sure you have all your equipment charged up and ready. We get on the location different times, but typically it's like 6 o'clock for a tour. And then we will set up our cameras from there. Then we start investigating. To give you a little insight, we did Wilson Castle. We had, let's see, I think we had like 8+ cameras running 24 hours. That's great. That's a lot of footage, but that's 24 hours each camera that you have to watch.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That you have to watch, right?
Yeah. But Now we have our own little personal cameras that we bring. So each investigator is allowed 2 cameras. And that's your footage. Like, you pop out the SD card, put it in your computer, and review it. Then that's pretty much it.
So you
Sometimes
guys,
it ends up taking longer than what you recorded because you're going back to make sure what you thought you saw or you thought you heard. You want to make sure that you're actually like thinking it, and then you'll send it to like other team members, be like, "Hey, you guys seeing the same thing or hearing the same thing I'm hearing?"
right. So going into this, do you guys, you have like a calendar, I guess, per se, and then as these clients reach out to you for different investigations and things, I guess you set a date, and then does Betty, the director, does she send you out the calendar, and then she just waits to see who's available, or how does that? I'm just curious. I'm fascinated to see how that works as far as scheduling and getting people out there.
We do the Google Calendar or Gmail Calendar, whatever it's called. We usually put on there if it's a residential case in which area it's in. That assistant director of that state will reach out and say who's available to come on this investigation. You'll let them know I'm available, I'm not available. If it's a commercial, like a big case like Wilson Castle, SK Pierce Mansion, it's pretty much open to anyone that wants to go.
I guess
Also,
all hands on deck type situation, right? When you got that big of a property, as many people as are available is helpful, right?
a lot of these places do require a minimum. So some places might require you need 6 people to investigate. Because you don't want to open up Wilson Castle for one person.
Right. Well, they probably wouldn't open it up for one person unless you had a full team there anyway, would they?
Correct. Just to piggyback real quick about the life of a paranormal investigator, it gets very, very expensive when it comes to equipment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have browsed y'all's website, and for anybody that would love to see the ins and outs of this, there's a tab on there that says equipment used, and it is unreal how many different devices and pieces of technology are on that page. I browsed through it, and I've been watching. Man, I've been a paranormal buff for a long time. I don't go out investigating like you guys. I got 2 kids. I just don't have time. I would love to. I think it's fascinating, but you see the stuff on TV, the different things. Of course, Jason and Grant, the OGs, and then you see Zach Bagans and Ghost Adventures and Dave Schrader and all those guys and the stuff that they use. And I mean, you see a few things, but man, y'all got like 30 different pieces of tech up there that y'all use. I mean, it's crazy that how far this has come. You guys have any idea when you were starting this that you were going to be using all this stuff, and then it was going to be this much and this detailed?
Back when I started when I was 16. I'm 37 now. So back then, we got a lot of our stuff at like Radio Shack. So it wasn't like super expensive. It was decent.
Right.
But now that it's over the years, it's been growing and new devices are coming out, and some of them are expensive.
I mean, it's almost created its own little industry and own little niche, hadn't it?
Yeah.
With all the stuff that they're making now. I mean, there's people that's what they do is they invent equipment for paranormal investigations. It's wild just to see how far this has come. Because I remember back in the day, like when Ghost Hunters first came out and watching it, and it's just, man, it's just a cultural revolution. It's insane what it has done for our society, and now people are into this. So would you, both of you guys, tell me a little bit about your roles within the organization and your contributions in particular?
I am the tech manager of the team. So that means all the equipment I have to deal with. If something goes wrong with it, I have to try and fix it or troubleshoot it. Also, I am the cryptid and UFO coordinator. So I handle all those types of cases.
Alyson?
And I'm a field investigator, so I'm like pretty much like that boots on the ground. Once we get there, just be and like start investigating, see what like the hot spots are gonna be. get to know like some research going into it on the location, what things we could be expecting, what like this historical on it, like any wars or any big historical events have happened, things like that. And pretty much going, not trying to provoke anything, but go in and see what we can get for any evidence.
Very good. All right. So what's some of the favorite investigations that you have investigated?
Myself, some of my favorite spots has been like the Conjuring House. I've been there quite a few times before. There's things that recently happened. But I've also Escape Pierce Mansion is another one of my favorites. And I've also made quite a few trips down to Gettysburg and just all over Gettysburg, the battlefield, the orphanage, places like that has always been a blast. Like one of our we recently went down to Gettysburg as a TAPS family reunion, and we were investigating the orphanage. And one of our team members ended up, we were in the basement. We were trying to see if we could communicate with any children. And one of my the team members said, "I think I found you." And then our tripwire lit up going into the corner.
I understand both of you guys have brought some videos with you too. Can you, Alyson, if you want to start, can you talk about the first one we're going to watch and the investigation you were doing at the time?
Yeah, that first one is actually that like trip with the video of the tripwire from down in the orphanage. And we were there as a whole team, and we were just seeing what we could see, get responses in the basement. We started having like the REM pod going off, things like that.
Are you playing hide and seek back there? I think I found you.
Whoa. And then I was able to get on video when the team member asked, saying, "I think I found you." And in the corner of the orphanage was this barrel that was a trigger point, and it just lit up the tripwire going into that corner.
Wow.
And then another video is when I was with a group of my friends, and we were actually at the Conjuring House, and I was in the basement. And I kept getting on the spirit box, it's saying we show us lights. And I took out, my friend had a custom-made Raggedy Ann REM pod doll. So I put that on the table, and it's not programmed to make any kind of sound or anything. But in the video, I have it playing a sound, and it's lighting up, and it's making like a tune, and it was not programmed to make that sound.
Wow.
Like it was only programmed like a normal REM pod of how like you get so close to it, it will set off the buzzer and the red light, but this one's actually beeping and the lights are playing along.
Marc, can you talk about a couple of your good ones and lead into a couple of the videos that you brought?
Yeah, sure. So one of the videos, we were investigating the Oliver house. I had one of our cameras set up in one of the bedrooms, and you can hear a distinct EVP say, "Hey." And then in one of the other videos, we were at Wilson Castle. We actually stayed over that night, so our cameras were running all night long. But up in the second floor area, we got distinct EVP saying no. There was no one up there asking questions. We were all downstairs. And then we were up at Herkimer County Jail up in New York. We had a few investigators going. We were in I set one of the cameras up in the cells that housed the women. And if the women had children, that's where they would stay. We had one of our investigators talking, and you could hear the EVP say, "Shut up." And this didn't happen just once, it happened multiple times where it said, "Shut up." And then the last video is at the Oliver house again. It's in one of the office. We heard I got an EVP saying, I can't tell if it says, this is our home or leave our home.
Have y'all ever had any spirits or anything, anytime that you felt uncomfortable? Have you been touched? Have you been pushed? Have any kind of physical altercations in any of these investigations?
I know from my experience, I've been touched. I had a small hand hold my hand at SKPS Mansion. And as being a father myself, it just took all the energy right out of me. I felt emotional. I've been in some situations that made me nervous. At one point, I was on USS Salem, and we were doing a Ouija board session that another team member wanted to do, not related to Pine, and I witnessed the Ouija board spinning. I had a inmate from Herkimer Jail follow me home. I had
Really?
Yeah. I had a cooler fly off and try and hit me. I caught it on camera. He was just trying to get my attention. That's all that I dealt with. I don't know if Alice.
That's all. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I've had quite a few myself. At one point, before being a member of Pine, I was helping with cleaning up Norwich State Hospital down in Norwich, Connecticut. We were actually helping get ready for the TV show to come, so I was there helping this volunteer group helping. But we were in their orphanage building on the property, and I was in the basement, and I kept feeling like something was like hitting my chest. So I finally got to the point that I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. I need to go outside. Like I need to just get out. Well, as I was going up the stairs, the caretaker's son was behind me, and he noticed a scratch forming on the back of my arm that started bleeding. And it wasn't like I scratched up against anything. It was just completely unexplained. And then a couple of different times at the Conjuring House while I've been there, I've had my hand scratched, and I've felt like the heaviness, almost like when laying in one of the beds, like as if someone's like pressing down on you. And at SKPS Mansion, Mark was actually there on it. We were in the billiards room, and I kept feeling like I was seeing something and feeling like the heaviness. And then I ended up I got a couple of still photos that I got, but you can actually see a shadow come from out behind the door and go out into the hallway. Right at the same time as me saying I was feeling that wicked heaviness, that I felt something was right there.
So you guys are pretty brave doing this stuff, especially. I don't know about you, Allison. Mark, you got kids, man. It's kind of brave getting into this stuff, and that's part of the reason that I've never wanted to get into it, because I don't want to bring any of this kind of stuff home with me. So I mean, it's got to take a special person to. That's commitment right there, to say the least. To worry about that. You talked about this inmate coming home with you, Mark. I mean, it came to your house. Did you had experiences with it at your home after that point?
Yep. My previous job was a corrections officer. I'm not saying it's related, but when the cooler got thrown at me, I just looked at it and went, okay, and walked inside. My wife was
You're pretty numb to this stuff at this point, I would say.
Yeah, I had my share of experiences. Plus my wife investigates the paranormal also on another team, and then my daughter's fascinated by the paranormal and Bigfoot. She loves Bigfoot.
Really?
And we do actually have a haunted bunny in our house. That has a 60-year-old woman attachment. But she's awesome. She just hangs out and lights up the little round pots we bought her.
So you just keep this in your house. It's just a normal day for you.
Yep.
That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
Yep. And we say good morning to her and good night to her every night.
Wow.
And my daughter loves talking to her and stuff like that, so she's part of the family.
Hey, That's, like I said, that's commitment right there. So what's on the agenda for you guys for the next few months? Do y'all have any investigations lined up that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, we're going to Hinsdale House, not in a few months, but in a year or so. And then our big trip we're wicked excited about is, and the number one on my bucket list is Waverly Hills.
Wow, yeah, that's a great location.
Wicked excited for that. It's always been one of my number one sites I always wanted to go to. We're constantly screening cases that come in. Residential cases pop off anytime. But those are our two big cases coming up right now.
Wow, I can't wait to see Waverly Hills. I hope you guys put a bunch of stuff up on your social media about that. That one will be great. It'll be great to see it from the eyes of true bona fide paranormal investigators, not lights and smoke and TV shows that, I've talked to some of these people that are very well known investigators and things. And I think you guys know from being in this business for so long that what you see on camera isn't, like you alluded to earlier, is not what this is really like. And I think so much of it's fabricated. Much of it's just for money. I mean, it's just to make money and to try to produce a TV show. I'm not saying it's all crap, but it's definitely a whole lot more smoke and mirrors, I think, than it is actual paranormal investigating a lot of times. So what is it that continues to fascinate both of you with the paranormal, and what keeps you pushing to learn more and to keep investigating?
Real quick to piggyback, not sure if you read Steve Gonzalez's book.
I have not. I saw he had one out, but
in his book he says it's not like the TV. So on the TV show they show you like an hour of the show, but in the book he tells us that they could be on location for 2 weeks. So that's one little thing that shows you it's not just like the TV show. It's could take up to 2 weeks to investigate a location.
right.
But it's just what fascinates me about the paranormal is the unknown. Still trying to get answers. Is there life after death? Is there really Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster? Is there really UFOs out there? I think that's what pushes me, is just trying to get answers and help families and people that need our help trying to understand the paranormal.
Alyson?
I pretty much agree with everything that Mark just said. Is what, like, the unknown and going deeper into the unknown and getting answers, and sometimes trying to get those answers you end up with different questions that you never thought you'd be asking yourself, and then now you're going down this rabbit hole, seeing what brought this down. And it's just kind of like interesting to see how everything can sometimes come full circle and be end up relatable and not relatable, and just what answers.
What do you both think are some of the most common misconceptions that people who have never been a part of paranormal investigations and either are non-believers or who've never seen or experienced anything that can be classified as paranormal?
Like you said earlier, a lot of it is TV, but everything isn't. I know Zach Bagans is always like, oh, it's a demon, it's a demon, it's a demon. You finding a demonic entity is very rare. I think I read somewhere it's like 1%. But people have to realize it's not like you see like in pictures where it's like a ghost wears a sheet over themselves. These were once living people that
Right.
passed away. Their spirits are still tied here. Maybe watching over a family member or unfinished business. So I think we have to take away the scary part and just remember that these were people and they deserve respect, and pretty much what we do as paranormal investigators is try and get answers, like Alyson said, and tell their story.
I love that you said respect too, because I agree 100%. And whether you believe or you don't believe that, that's people's prerogative, but I think you absolutely should go in and realize what you're dealing with and show some level of respect instead of going in there and just trying to, kick up a bunch of angry spirits and yeah, that's great. And you guys are actually helping people. You're helping people to explain things that they don't know what's going on. And it's just, he has done a lot, I guess, towards the negative aspects of that and to making people believe one thing when it's actually another thing. So let me just ask you both of you real quick about my biggest fascination with the paranormal, which I probably linger on more than anything on this show, is UFOs and extraterrestrials, UAPs. That's to me, that's always my big thing that has always fascinated me. And the thing that I keep digging for. If you guys had any, I know you're kind of getting into that, breaking into that a little bit more, but have you guys had any investigations where you've actually tried to go out and use any tech to try to find UFOs? Have you tried to been to any, I know there's that crash site up there in Pennsylvania. Have you guys made it up there? Any of this on the agenda, things you want to look at as far as UFOs and UAPs?
I know we're trying to set something up to actually go out and investigate. A lot of our schedules are conflicting, but I know in the past the team has done a kind of like a barbecue / like look up in the sky. I couldn't make it, I had to work, but I know for me, when that whole drone situation was happening and everyone saw the drones up in the sky, I know every time I was driving home from work, I was looking up. But yeah, I would love to get more into UFOs and no, Bigfoot is really, really something that I want to actually find. I know it's probably going to be hard, but I don't know if Alyson has anything to add on the UFO side.
Not really, but like kind of like with you, like those days those drones were happening, I found myself more watching the sky than I was before because like, oh hey, something's actually going on. And there's actually probably a few nights that while it was still nice out, I was actually just hanging out on my back deck, just kind of chilling, looking up, and being like, all right, let's see if something happens, and just being out there.
Did any of your team members capture any footage from any of the drones?
That's a good question. I'm not too sure about that. I can actually ask them.
Yeah, I'd love to see if you guys caught any footage about that. So, yeah, that was a big thing. So what do you guys both hope to accomplish in the future, and what would you say your goals and dreams are, both in your personal lives and in paranormal investigating?
To accomplish, just keep going forward, helping people understand the paranormal. Yeah, just keep doing my thing and just get through my first year of being a kindergarten father. And she's 5 years old, going on 16, so need a lot of faith of dealing with her. So
I feel you, brother. I have one turning 5 in December. I'm right there with you.
I love her and she's awesome. But
Alyson?
Kind of like the same thing with Mark about like just keep investigating, learning more, investigating, opening up to new equipment that I haven't quite used before.
Very good. Well, thank you guys for taking some time to talk to me tonight. I appreciate it very much. I can't wait to see what you guys have the next 6 months, the next year, the next 10 years, what you guys come up with. And where can we find Paranormal Investigators of New England?
We are on every single social media that you can think of. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can visit our website. I assume that you're probably going to post the website link. But yeah, every social media you can find us.
Great. I appreciate you guys' time. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Thanks,
That's my show for this week. I want to thank both Marc and Alyson and Paranormal Investigators of New England for being a part of my show this week. Be sure to go follow them on all their social media accounts, or you can check them out on their website at pi-ne.org. I hope you enjoyed my Halloween episode, and I will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Politics, Prepping, and Paranormal Podcast. Your source for real news and analysis on politics, prepping, paranormal, conspiracy theories, and the volatile state of the world we live in. Tune in next week and every week for a new episode, and stay safe, stay healthy, and stay vigilant.